Welcome to Secret America, where the glamour fades and the truth begins. Subscribe now and don't miss a single story. Johnson's speech pattern was already stuck in my ear at this point, the kind of voice you remember without even trying. For decades, Jack Nicholson rocked that devilish grin, the wild spirit who shook Hollywood from the inside out. But when the lights cut off and the applause faded, he carried grudges way darker than the iconic roles that made him a legend. Now, at 88, he finally broke his silence and pulled back the curtain on what really haunted him all these years. 6 names. Some were idols he once bowed to, others were friends he trusted. But every single one, according to Nicholson, crossed a line that turned respect into straight-up hatred. And now, for the first time, the world gets the truth about the legends he said he would never forgive. Number 1. Marlon Brando, the hero who became Nicholson's biggest heartbreak. Jack never imagined that the man he worshipped the most, Marlon Brando, would become his greatest disappointment. Brando was supposed to be the genius who inspired a whole generation, including Jack himself. But when they teamed up for the Missouri Breaks in 1976, everything Jack admired shattered right in front of him. Nicholson came in sharp, focused, ready to go head-to-head with his hero. But Brando walked on set completely detached, moving like he didn't care about a thing. He didn't bother learning his lines, instead sticking cue cards on lamps, tables, and even the foreheads of crew members like it was some kind of joke. What should have been a historic acting showdown turned into pure chaos. Nicholson later snapped, "Genius doesn't excuse laziness." He even said, calling someone a genius is just a fancy word for fraud. And Brando didn't stop there. He randomly slipped into strange accents, dropping into an Irish voice out of nowhere. Then he demanded odd outfits, bonnets, dresses, leaving the crew confused and worn out. To Nicholson, this wasn't creativity, it was sabotage. Every day felt like Brando was running his own private circus, while Jack struggled to hold the film together. The tension was so thick it felt like you could cut it with a knife. When the movie flopped, so did their bond, instantly and forever. Jack still respected Brando's early work, but he swore he would never act beside him again. For Nicholson, the lesson hit hard. Sometimes the people you worship are the ones who crush your faith the worst. Number 2, Shelley Duvall, the co-star who pushed Nicholson to the edge. On the set of The Shining in 1980, Nicholson wasn't furious with Stanley Kubrick like many people assume. His frustration was aimed at the actress playing his wife, Shelley Duvall. Jack wanted stability beside him, someone who could match his intensity scene for scene. Instead, he got unpredictability that kept knocking him off balance. Kubrick's endless retakes were already brutal, pushing everyone to the edge. But Shelley's fragile approach made things even harder. One moment, she delivered powerful, raw emotion, and the next, she seemed so worn down that her performance felt completely disconnected. The whole set shook with tension, and Jack felt like he was battling the scene, the pressure, and his co-star all at once. Jack later admitted, "As an actor, you need a dance partner." But with Shelley, it felt like she was moving to a whole different track. What started as sympathy slowly twisted into frustration. Nicholson relied on rhythm and precision, but her emotional swings left him fighting scenes alone that were supposed to flow together. And every time he tried to sync up with her energy, it felt like the ground shifted under his feet. He said her instability made an already tough job feel almost impossible. Years later, Jack softened, realizing Kubrick's harsh methods pushed Shelley to the breaking point. What Stanley put her through was unconscionable, he said. Still, the memory stayed with him. The film became a classic built on the wreckage of 2 actors who never truly trusted each other. Nicholson often reflected that greatness sometimes comes from a place nobody wants to revisit, and this was one of those moments he never forgot. Number 3. Tom Cruise, the superstar Nicholson called empty. When Nicholson faced off with Tom Cruise in A Few Good Men, the world watched magic. "You Can't Handle the Truth" became legendary. But for Jack, working with Cruise was draining, not thrilling. Nicholson thrived on risk, the kind of energy where a scene could explode at any moment. But Cruise gave him nothing unpredictable. Every smile looked practiced, every move calculated, every line delivered like a machine. Jack sneered, "You look in his eyes and you see the machinery working. It's perfect and it's empty." Nicholson felt Cruise treated acting like image control, not truth. Even their famous courtroom blow-up left him cold, because Cruise's reactions felt polished instead of raw. Jack said it was like listening to a studio track when he wanted the wild energy of a live concert. After filming Wrapped, Nicholson told colleagues he respected Cruise's discipline, but would never share a set with him again. Their styles were worlds apart. One chased perfection, the other chased danger, and that gap could never close. "This isn't collaboration, this is sabotage," Nicholson snapped, and that one word summed up everything boiling inside him. The trust was gone, the respect gone, and the dream of a triumphant sequel crashed right in front of him. What should have been his biggest win turned into the project that cut so deep, he never stepped behind the camera again. Number 5. Sean Penn, the director who suffocated Nicholson. Jack Nicholson couldn't stand being told exactly how to act, but that's exactly what Sean Penn did on The Pledge in 2001. Nicholson didn't feel like he was working with a director. He felt like he was taking orders. Penn wanted gritty realism so badly that he dictated every pause, every look, every tone, like he was programming a machine. Nicholson later said, "What's the point of hiring Jack Nicholson if you want a puppet?" A line that showed just how furious he really was. Jack built his whole career on instinct, improvisation, and letting scenes explode naturally. With Penn, none of that existed. Every moment felt boxed in, every choice squeezed tight. He said it was like running a marathon with your feet tied together, a metaphor that showed how miserable the process had become. Sure, the film earned praise, but Nicholson walked away feeling drained, stripped of the danger that made acting worth it. After The Pledge, the two never worked together again, proof that Penn's talent couldn't outweigh the suffocation Jack felt on that set. Number 6. Leonardo DiCaprio, the star Nicholson said was too safe. In The Departed, 2006, Nicholson and Leonardo DiCaprio delivered some of the wildest moments in Scorsese's crime masterpiece. Nicholson's Frank Costello was pure chaos, while DiCaprio's Billy Costigan was tight, anxious energy. On screen, it looked electric, but off-screen, Nicholson wasn't impressed. Jack thrived on danger. He loved walking into a scene with no idea what might happen. DiCaprio, on the other hand, prepared everything, from backstory to tiny facial gestures. Nicholson complained, "He's done his homework, but there's no danger. You can see every brick." To Jack, it felt predictable, too clean, too controlled. That difference blew up in one unforgettable moment. During a tense exchange, Nicholson shocked the entire set by pulling out a real gun. Nobody saw it coming. It was Jack's way of breaking the structure, forcing chaos into a scene he felt was getting too stiff. Without warning, Nicholson pulled out that real gun and Scorsese just kept the cameras rolling like nothing happened. The shock on DiCaprio's face was completely real, and to Jack, that was acting. Raw, unpredictable, true in the moment. But to Leo, it felt reckless, a move that crossed the line of trust on set. Generations clashed hard right there. Nicholson trained under Sanford Meisner. living by the rule of staying truthful in the moment. DiCaprio came from a newer Hollywood built on precision, control, and discipline. Both styles worked, but together they mixed like oil and water on that set. And the more they tried to blend, the more obvious the gap became. Nicholson respected Leo's talent, but he never connected with his spirit as an actor. After the film wrapped, he told friends, "The kid's great, but too safe for my blood." Their relationship stayed distant. DiCaprio kept it professional and always praised Nicholson in public, but Jack's judgment never softened. To him, Leo's style felt like a beautiful cage, impressive, but too controlled to spark real danger. In the end, The Departed won Best Picture, yet Nicholson still felt a bitter taste behind the victory. To him, the movie proved that even a masterpiece can feel hollow if the partner beside you doesn't match your rhythm. Winning didn't change the memory. It only reminded him of how lonely a great performance can feel without the right energy beside you. 6 names, 6 battles, and one simple truth. Jack Nicholson never forgot the people who broke his code. From idols who disappointed him to co-stars who drained the life out of a scene, each clash left marks that shaped how he saw Hollywood forever. What do you think? Was Nicholson brutally honest, or did he go too hard on legends like Brando, Cruise, and DiCaprio? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss the next story from Secret America.